creep in the starlit gloom. Undead soldiers march to their doom. We face the fiends, the dark abyss. A dragon's roar we never miss. The sorcerer's power, the warrior's blade. The bard's sweet songs, the rogue's crusade. From the tombs to the shattered sky, we'll stand as one, we'll never die. Through the labyrinth of doom we fight. In the dark we strike like a beast in the night. Dragons soaring in the sky. No retreat, no fear, we'll never die. Dungeons and dragons, all battles begun. Into the darkness we will run. Raise the sword, cast the spell. In the dungeon's depths we rise a falling hell. Dungeons and dragons, the fates in our hands. Fight through the chaos, take a stand. For honor, for glory, we ride the storm. In the heart of the dungeon where legends are born. Ancient ones in the lair await. While shadows stalk our every fate. But we'll never falter, never kneel. With every roll our destiny seal. In the forge of fire, in the storm of steel. We fight for glory, we fight to heal. Let the dungeons tremble and fall. We rise, we conquer, we stand tall. Dungeons and dragons, all battles begun. Into the darkness we will run. Raise the sword, cast the spell. In the dungeon's depths we rise a falling hell. Dungeons and dragons, fates in our hands. Fight through the chaos, take a stand. For honor, for glory, we ride the storm. In the heart of the dungeon where legends are born. Through the fire, through the pain, we'll forge our names and break the chains. Dungeons and dragons, forever we fight. In the heart of the dungeon we claim the night.
All right, hello everybody, and welcome to the Above Table Podcast, where we talk above the table about D&D and anything tabletop gaming related. I'm your host, Fish, and with me is Havoc, who's been here every time so far, but, you know.
It one of these days. I just like, come on, man. We are your hosts, not I am your host. We are your hosts.
I mean, look, who talks in the beginning?
Okay, and like we.
Maybe one day I will say we, and it'll surprise you. We'll see. But getting right into it today with our fun little podcast that we've got going, we have to say, it's good to be back. We had a little bit of an incident that kept us from streaming for a while, but we're back, and that's all that needs to be said on that. I seem to recall that you were going to give me a challenge last time, though.
Yep.
I saw that, Havoc. I saw that.
Pay no attention to the technical difficulties.
Hey, at least it wasn't audio this time.
It never fails. So we're like, oh yeah, we got it this time.
And hey, our email is correct this time.
Email has always been correct.
Except when it wasn't.
No, the email was correct. My own tag underneath my name was not.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember now. But yeah, go ahead and hit me with this challenge again. Let's see if I can do something with it while we go.
One turn kill a hill giant at level 5.
One turn kill a hill giant at level 5. Anything else? Any magic items? Any Anything else that I need to know?
I think we said standard array for stats. No magic items. Assume damage is maxed.
All right. Assume max damage. No magic items. Have to be a level 5 standard array skills. All right. I will work on that while we get into this. Hill Giant, that's a lot of health. Okay.
105.
105 HP.
It's doable. It's very easily doable.
I believe you, but you know I don't do power builds.
Yeah, but being a DM and knowing the power builds, so that way you can be like and expect it. That's my counterpoint to it.
You make a good point there. I think that that ties in nicely to this first little topic we've got here, though, doesn't it?
A little bit.
That was sneaky. So DMing other DMs. This one was also your idea. So what's your line of thinking there? What's the question?
You know, you've been DMing me for a little bit, and you understand that, like, I'm sitting here playing a character that just does ridiculous things that kind of frustrates you and makes you have to rebalance encounters.
You've definitely made me have to rebalance some encounters.
And it's the fact that, like, if you're DMing another DM, you have to expect the that sort of, because the DMs know the rules. They know what they can get away with, what they can't get away with, how to twist the rules as written, and be like, hey, when you yourself, I know that this is how this happens, and I'm gonna point and tell you step by step that this is how this happens. Does this work the way that I want it to work? And if you as the DM go, yeah, that works, and then they explain to you why they're asking every single question like this, and you get to that conclusion of, oh, what did I just get myself into? It's one of those, you're kind of in a point where maybe I should have thought of that before, but you can only do that if you know. I guess it just takes experience. I guess
it does take a lot of experience, and you've definitely taught me a couple of things with DMing, because you do a lot of those power builds.
Correction, I don't do power builds. You want to see a power build? I can make a power build.
You're gonna tell me that your almost rules as written character that you built for my campaign
is not a power build? No, it's not. I would have never taken anything past level 2 fighter.
You know what? Fair enough. Because you could have definitely upped that damage a little bit.
A bit.
But you are giving me a lot of reason to go through and see how things work and see how things in the world may or may not need to be adjusted. Because, let's be honest, your character's stupid.
If he's stupid, just kill him off. Please don't do that. I don't want to reroll again.
Oh, I mean, look. We'll do it right here.
No,
on this show.
No.
We'll have you roll up a new character.
You're gonna get a bard if that happens.
Oh, you're not allowed to wear or play bards. You know that. No. You are the only person I have ever banned a class for. I just want you to know that.
You know what's funny? Bards are not the ones you should ban from me.
Oh, I've already banned artificers from you.
Yeah, Bard is not the one you should ban from me.
No, you're banned from playing like half the classes now.
You see, Dash knows
Let's see.
warlocks.
Bards, warlocks, artificers, blood hunter. There's a couple others, I'm sure.
I've never played
No,
a blood hunter.
You're allowed to play pretty much any class, but next time we're going to be looking at your character sheet a little bit closer.
Okay, fair.
In the meantime of all of that, you've also been DMing for me for a few weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to think that I play nice
You,
most of the time.
compared to the other DMs that I've DM'd for, you are so much nicer. So much nicer. I actually prefer DMing for you as a DM over any of the other DMs I've DM'd for. Like, because you just accept what it is. You don't try to go through and that's not rules as written, or well, in my campaign I did this, and you just
There has been exactly one time I considered arguing with you on a ruling because it wasn't rules as written. And I raised the question. You shut me down, said, yeah, that's how that's going to work.
Which one was
and
it?
I dropped it. I don't even remember. It was in the last the last session that we did. I can't remember what it was. Oh, yeah. That's what it was. Trolls.
Mm-hmm.
Because the rules as written is they have to die having taken fire damage at some point in the previous round. And that will kill them.
Oh, that okay. You're talking about trolls, or you're talking about the
Whatever it was that we were fighting. I thought that was a troll. Was it an ogre or
in the
yeah, the ogre thing.
the zombie ogre. No, so it specifically had an actual ability that its
Undead
final
Fortitude.
its final blow needed to be fire or radiant, not that it has
I will have to look at that because when I've seen Undead Fortitude in the past, it's been has to have taken fire damage in the last round, I thought, but I could have misread that as well.
Well, let me look at it. Yeah, so Undead Fortitude reads, if damage reduces the zombie to hit points, to 0 hit points, it must make a Constitution saving throw with a DC 5 plus the damage taken, unless the damage is radiant or from a critical hit.
Yep, so that's zombies Undead Fortitude.
Yes. And that was specific to what you guys were fighting, which was a zombie ogre.
Yep.
I included it to be fire damage because I knew that with its stats, you guys were just going to keep busting it down to 0 and it'd go back up to 1.
Yep. No, it looks like yeah, because it's the zombie thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, what I was looking at was the troll fire damage. So.
Yes. And the troll was a story point and would not die until he did what he needed to do.
Yep, that was me getting confused on what monster it was. So that still would have been a point of confusion. It just would have been the wrong point of confusion.
I made it a little bit easier for you guys to get the final blow, because otherwise you'd just been sitting there for a lot longer.
Because it has a DC of 5 plus the damage taken.
Plus Constitution modifier, and his Constitution modifier was stupid.
Yep, so it would have had to take... In order to have a chance at dying, it would have had to take at least 11 points. And then rolled a natural 1 on its save.
Yep.
So we could have done it, but... I think it was probably better, given how long we were going over, that you added the fire damage back in.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. So yeah, miscommunications are a big thing, and understanding rulings are a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I, like I was saying going into all that, I don't like to argue with the DM on things
Right.
because it's their world. Things are going to work differently, and you are actually really good about that too. You'll make a face when something isn't rules as written, and then accept it without saying anything, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, because it's one of those is I make a lot of like I plan my steps into advance, and when something goes against rules as written, I'm like, wait, that okay,
Well, this changes everything.
this changes.
Um, but going into that, uh, as a DM, you do a lot of prep, as it were.
Yes.
When you are between sessions, what does prep tend to look like for you?
So, um, when I first start a campaign, I know what point A to point B looks like from
Mm-hmm.
beginning to end. I know that that's what I want to do. I um I have a I like to write. My issue with writing is I can't put in I get hit with blocks for like, oh, this is what happens from getting to point A to point B. And that's why I love D&D so much is because um I'll have a story point from point A to point B, and well, the characters decide what how they get from that stint, and that just gives me ideas. Be like, okay, so they did this. How do I build upon this? How do I make this more? How do I make this better? Like, case in point, Nemea and Zevlin. I got a little bit about them. They were supposed to be guest characters because we were having issues with two of our players who were supposed to be at the start, making finding time during the week, and they have life going happening and stuff like that. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to introduce the two people guest characters because I can get them on hand very quickly. So that way we can keep the session going and not wait a couple months before the next one, because I know the D&D nerds, you can't wait to get their next fix.
Nope. And if they have to wait, they'll go find something else to hold their interest.
Exactly. And so I got two guest characters. And as I'm sitting there, like, okay, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? And then I got hit with a thought, and I was like, oh, twin sisters. It seems like a good, interesting concept. And then it expanded a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and then finally it decided that they were going to stay. And I'm like, okay, so now I have to introduce a plot for these characters because all of my characters have backstory. All of them have a potential story arc. And so now these guest characters that weren't supposed to have like a major story arc had to kind of get a story arc.
And what's even more fun with all that, you wrote out kind of their story arc and started planning for them, and then it wasn't a week later, Moodles hit you with, if we're gonna stay in this full time, I want to play a character that I made.
And that just made my story arc even so much better.
Yep. We can get into some other interesting story points like that here in a little bit. See, now when I do prep, I know what the world looks like. I know what's going on in the world. And I have a general idea of what potential problems in the world are going to be. That's it. I take that information and I go to the players and, all right, here's the world, here's the time frame, the era, the whatever. Here's the region that I want to start this campaign in. Tell me about your character. And I get that information. I sometimes pull backstory out like I'm pulling teeth. And I take their backstory and I build on that. I use that to tie them into the world and to tie them into the story, because they need a reason to be involved in that story. So, for instance, the campaign I'm running right now, Moodle's character, now she gets a little bit of extra attention frequently because she lives with me and we're able to talk about it all the time. But the country that her character's from didn't exist in my world until she made the character. The whole story arc that you guys are now pursuing, none of those characters, none of that, anything existed until she decided to make her character. And now it's the focal point of the campaign at the moment.
Yeah. It's a pretty good focal point. Not gonna lie.
It's all just using the information she gave me. The story that we're getting ready to get into after that bit's all done, Folnir is, yeah, he's gonna be very sad. And I'm gonna have fun with it.
I don't like that at all.
But like Dash's character, Octo's character, they have entire storylines that are built entirely because of where they are from and their backstories. None of that existed in the world, and now it's a really, really fun thing, and I don't know how to put it into better words other than you get to write a story with your friends, and you get to torment them, and they'll love it.
Or you'll love it, whichever is the case.
I have been able to make a room full of grown adults cry and then come back for more 3 days later.
Okay.
It's a beautiful thing. Now, getting into the topic of beautiful things, we've got our weekly thing of the week that we should take a look at while we're
It's
here.
definitely not a beautiful thing at all whatsoever. I hate that feat so much. It's so stupid.
It's the lucky feat, which, let's be honest, if you don't take this, if your build relies on rolling well, which most of them do, and you don't take the lucky feat, there's something wrong. Because literally just, I didn't like this roll, I'm gonna do it again. 3 times per long rest.
I know, and that's why I really hate that, because you'll sit there and a player will roll a 3 and you're like, oh, I have an interesting story point with this because they rolled a 3, and they're like, no, I'm just gonna reroll.
Yep.
Come on.
If you want your DM to hate you, take the lucky feat. Even better, make a halfling and then take the lucky feat on top of that.
I'm killing that character.
Good luck. Don't just re-roll.
And this is fine. I'll find a way. It's very easy being a DM. If you want a character dead, a character's gonna die.
That might be a rocks fall, you die sort of moment.
Exactly. Rocks fall, you die. Let's play another game of 46s, please.
It's a fun game. Though I am kind of interested in Bones
I like Bones.
for character creation.
Bones is good.
I've never tried it outside of building a character for your campaign, but I'm gonna have to look at it.
It's super forgiving.
It is, but at the same time, it makes it very hard to roll exceptionally well.
Mm-hmm. And if you roll exceptionally well, you deserve it.
Yep.
And it's also a fun mixture of a little mini game. It'd be like, For those of you that don't know what Bones is, it's my stat rolling rule. You take 3d6s, you roll them, you re-roll ones, you can re-roll twos. If you re-roll a 2, you have to roll another die. There's special rules with re-rolling 2s, like 2s cannot target 1s. They can be used to roll other 2s, but you have to re-roll 2 dice. So if you get a 1, a 2, and a 6, and you want to re-roll that 1 and that 2, you have to roll all 3 die. And it's interesting. It's fun. It was one of the games. It was one of the when I was learning to play D&D, my DM used that rule, and I've used it since. Most of the time, I just do standard array, but I was like, let's do rolled stats this time. I like when players have negative stat modifiers.
Negative stat modifiers can be fun.
But
I've got one player that begs me to let them take a 4 in a stat, usually strength.
No. Sorry.
That's what I say too. But
I am fine with an 8. I am fine with a 6 through 8. Or 6 through 9, because 10 is when it becomes 0. Anything lower than 6, no.
Yeah,
it's detrimental.
So, this particular player plays a cleric in every campaign.
Yeah, I know.
They usually play a healer. And in the first campaign I ever DM'd for them, I let them take a 4 in strength.
Mm-hmm.
And I made it so that they could use their unarmed strike to roll a d20, and then if they rolled a 19 or 20, they heal someone with their unarmed strike, because they can't do damage with unarmed strike.
You rolled a 4 fair and square?
Yep, rolled a 4 fair and square with the way that I do stats.
I thought you re-roll ones.
I do. Now.
Now. This was not a now, then got it. This is what made it now.
There is a reason that I make you re-roll if you roll 4 once. All right, let's see. Sorry, I'm working on your little challenge here.
Is it going well?
Actually, I might be getting close to an answer. But before we get to that answer, I think we've got one more thing to talk about, and I think a transition point from a player healing people with unarmed strikes is a great spot to go. So,
and this kind of ties into prep work and anything like that. What do you do when a player accidentally makes the story more interesting?
You roll with it. You turn and you go, I love that idea. That is canon now. Or at least that's what I do most of the time.
I've I've had a couple instances, and actually in the campaign that has Morena and all of that group. And I'm gonna let a little secret because Octo doesn't know this. So I introduced anti-magic, and I have an entire each class has a subclass variation of anti-magic. I'm not ever going to post that because it's literally only works with the way my world works, and I'm not doing that. But I had made it so that way player characters could not access anti-magic because I was like, I don't want to deal with that. And then we had a Blizzard folk that was playing a Blood Hunter attempts to take one of there was their first instance of meeting this group of people that were wielding anti-magic. It ended up being the BBEGs and all that. It was that first instance of meeting them, and the moment that his entire thought process was, I want that weapon. I want it. That's mine. And I'm like, no. And then he finally gets the chance to get the weapon away from him. And I was like, okay. And he's like, I'm going to try to use it. And I'm like, oh. And so then, at that point with him trying, because he's literally a caster himself, being a blood hunter. He was doing the spellcasting subclass. And I was like, all right, well, now you've been corrupted with anti-magic running through your veins as it's slowly eating the magic that is a part of you. And I had to go through and all of that and change that entire aspect because players are going to do player things.
Players are going to do player things. All right, let's add that. And that should do it. It's always something fun like that. At risk of giving away too much about my world, you know how important leyline junctions are, right?
Yeah.
You know how Octo's character is hard tied to them in some way or another, right?
A little bit.
And how it's a major plot point.
Mm-hmm. Used to not be that way.
Octo from that one.
Used to not be that way.
Yep. You guys can thank Octo for that, and honestly, even for Ellie having to roll a sleep die
as an elf. So
because
what I was not there. So what happened?
Honestly, I can't even remember what happened with it. But Octo said something during session that got the wheels in my head turning. Yeah, that's right. It happened in Sunset. Yeah. The leyline junctions weren't going to be acting up the way that they are, and the way that it's going to end up being a major plot point. They weren't acting up until Octo said things in the town of Sunset.
Okay.
Yep. So it was it wasn't going to be a thing. It was going to be a neat little stopover, and oh hey, that's kind of interesting and creepy. Let's never go back there.
And then
But
it was
the
like, I'm
town
gonna
itself,
nuke it.
the town itself is actually important to the world as a whole, for reasons that I haven't told anybody. But that's why Ellie has the issues that she has as an elf. That's why the ley lines are acting up. Because somebody said the right thing at the right time. And now we have two elves who sleep.
And I know that another interesting thing happened recently, but you know.
Oh yeah? Which one's that?
The Folnir's deal.
Oh yeah. Folnir's unintentional deal with
The devil himself.
yeah. Well, no, not the
I
devil.
know, but
The god of murder.
yeah. I don't think you planned that one. And you're like, now I'm rolling with that.
I hadn't planned it, but now it's a major plot point for your character, isn't it?
Yeah. A little bit.
And it's because you gave it to me.
And that's the best thing is, like, that's why when I create a character, I'll have, you know, key points for story. Like, oh yeah, this is what I do, this is what I've learned, this is what I have done. If the DM can fill in this rest of the spots, because I like to see what they come up with and them design it based on their world, it's great. I had a hard time. I had a hard time playing Sin.
Yeah?
I had a hard time playing Sin.
Why is that?
Because I knew Sin's entire story before that point.
Fair.
And not having that, we were like, all right, this is where there was no instance of DM, I need to ask you about this certain thing. Because you created it. I don't need to, I created it. I don't need to ask you. But if the DM has more say into that, then it's one of those is you can play upon it. And I just didn't get the chance to do that with it. Yeah, I had a little bit where I got to play Syndicate Crime Lord, but it wasn't super backstory related.
She didn't fit in with the story because
of the fact that she was not. Yeah, exactly. Because reasons. So that's ultimately why I was like, all right, I want to shelf Sin.
That's fair.
That and because I was kind of doing crazy things.
I mean,
idol creation is ridiculous.
That didn't stop you from doing crazy things. That just changed the crazy things.
It's just a different kind of crazy things, apparently.
Just show up and immediately double fist dragons.
That was my first session with Folnir, wasn't it?
It was.
It was picking up
really
two
was.
dragons like they were kittens. That was great.
Yep. No, our two worlds are very, very different places and very, very different things that are and aren't allowed. And I think we're learning a lot about how we can do things differently.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with your challenge, I've got a question real quick.
Okay.
I'm assuming max damage, so am I assuming crits?
No crits.
No crits.
No crits. because if you crit, like, I could if it's a crit, it's just easy. It's easy.
All right.
You play assassin rogue, and there it goes. It's dead.
Yeah, fair. That's fair. In that case, is it one round or just one turn?
It's one round, so you get your action, bonus action, move action, reaction.
Action, bonus action, move action, reaction.
Yep.
Okay.
Then the hill giant needs to die before its turn.
Assuming max damage, I think I've got something for you then.
Okay. What you got?
Well, I'm going to take a variant human. I'm using 2014 rules.
Yep.
Variant human's the way to go.
Double feet. No.
No, not double feet.
If you
one feet.
Yeah, it's 1 feet. You would get a feat if you are taking 4th level class.
Now, if my math is right here, the feat doesn't matter.
Which feat?
Like I said, it doesn't matter. I ended up taking what did I take? I ended up taking Weapon Master, which allowed me to increase my dex or strength and gain proficiency with a few different weapons. I ended up taking proficiency with a Warhammer and taking a Warhammer as my weapon.
Okay.
Then I took 2 levels in Paladin and 3 levels in Warlock.
Taking Paladin first and then into Warlock?
Yes.
Okay. I know where you're going with this.
I took Pact of the Blade as my Warlock Pact. And then with that, you told me I get a reaction, right? So, on my turn, I am going to... what was it? Oh, yeah. I'm going to... Where's the frickin' words? Warhammer. Right?
Yep.
Where's my frickin' thing? There's the features and traits. Yep. So, not Warhammer. Warhammer. Assuming max damage on that, that is 13 plus 2d8.
Yep.
Plus the 2nd level Divine Smite.
Okay.
The 2d8 comes from... Where did that come from? I've got it here. Oh, comes from Booming Blade.
Okay.
Which is, if I'm reading this right, just a feature of the Warlock class.
Yes. So 13
that is
plus 16
1d10
plus 16.
plus 3 plus 16 plus 24 because I'm using a 2nd level spell slot from my... So that is 24 plus 16 plus 13, right? It puts me at... should be 64?
Yep. Wait, 24 plus 16 plus 13?
63.
53. 24
53.
plus 16 plus 13. Puts you at 53.
All right. Let's see, where was the other thing that I was going to do? I had something. I did. Swear I did. I was going to take a feat that actually did matter when I was looking at this, and I don't think I have it on D&D Beyond, and I can't remember what the feat was now.
Ah, got it.
I
Use
I might have cheated a little bit.
use what is it? 5e wikidot or whatever the hell it's
Yeah,
called.
yeah, yeah.
I think
Yeah, let's look at the feats here.
because I think the way that you are going about it, the feat matters if you're going that route.
It does.
Because I think you can get close, but I think all in total you're like 3 or 4 points shy but in particular if you take a feat.
So with the reaction, I'm actually able to Hellish Rebuke for 30 points.
Mm-hmm. But that means it's attacking you.
Yes.
It needs to die before its turn.
Okay, yeah. What was the feat that I was gonna take? My mind is not all there at this point.
What did you take for your invocations?
Let me look. Eldritch Invocations, Agonizing Blast, and Fiendish Vigor.
So, the D&D Beyond is kind of screwing you over in that aspect. But Warlock invocations, fun fact, don't require Warlock level. They're based off of character level.
Okay, yeah, no, I see where you're going with this. Yep, that's D&D Beyond screwing me over there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look at the Warlock Invocations.
Rules is written versus the actual site is frustratingly annoying sometimes. Because, and I'll read this out.
You know, Eldritch Smite could be useful because it can stack with the other Smite. Oh, I don't own Xanathar's Guide on D&D Beyond, which is why I can't see it there. But I Divine Smite for 3d8, Eldritch Smite for another 3d8, so another 24. And then using those, see, that puts me up to 77 without taking a bonus action.
Okay.
And then, let's see, look at my bonus actions here.
Your bonus action is Booming Blade, right? Or is that no? That's the attack action.
Yep, Booming Blade is part of the attack action.
Okay.
And the smites aren't the bonus action. Don't get to swing twice.
Why not?
Because it's only 2 levels in Paladin on this build.
Yeah, but you have access to Warlock invocations.
You're right, because I've got more than the one.
Yeah, you at level 3 should have 2.
Mm-hmm. So let's see what allows me to attack a second time, because that will easily do it.
And if you use... Yeah. There's different ways.
Yep.
Because you get 2, right? You get 2. Yeah, you get 2. There is one that allows you to attack twice. It's Thirsting Blade.
Yep. Yep, that's right here. You guys can't see my screen, but I just saw that one. There it is. Attack twice with the packed weapon whenever you take the attack action, which would allow that. The other thing that could be interesting to look at would be, guess if Mephistopheles could potentially do it.
Yes, but that is, if I'm not mistaken, Unearthed Arcana, correct?
It is Unearthed Arcana.
Yeah.
Just looking through here. But, alright, so taking the, where was it? It was up here somewhere, not that far. Not that far down. It's on here somewhere on this page that I'm looking at. Yeah, Thirsting Blade. Attack with the packed weapon twice. So
Okay.
I'm at 77. And then use that, take the second attack with the Warhammer for another 2d8 plus 13. So another 29. Which, if my math is right, puts me at 106.
Yep. And there's so many different ways. Strike of the Giant's Feet allows
Strike
you
of the
to
Giants is the one that I was trying to find in the first place.
allows you to choose a damage type. You add extra damage depending on what kind of giant you decide you want to flavor. You could go Eraser Mage, which by far favorite. It just erases it from existence. There's a volley ranger build that will just shoot multiple times nonstop. Let's see, level 5. So Artificer, Warlock combo, Warlock Paladin combo, honorable mention, Cheese Grater, Druid, Rogue combo, could do it.
That probably could.
Very easily.
When done right, it can do a lot of damage very quickly.
But by far my favorite is the Artificer Warlock combo. You just
I don't like artificers.
It level 5, it just becomes a miniature black hole that just erases things from existence.
Yep.
Variant Human.
Variant Human is, I think, the only way to do it, though.
Yes, having that level 1, having that feat. I mean, yeah, because you don't get the feat is what makes it.
Yeah.
And you can't do it because you need multi-class. You need to hit 2 levels into one, 3 levels into another to get the synergistic bonuses from each other. And you're not going to hit level 4.
Though, I wonder if there is a rogue build that could do it because of the sneak attack.
A
Because
s-
sneak attack
okay.
is huge.
I actually I could see it.
Yep.
I could very easily see it. A thief monk build.
That.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. There it is.
Thief monk could
No,
probably
that
do it.
one-
I'd have to tinker with that one to see if I could actually get it without being a variant human. Nope, I could do it. Tabaxi. Easy.
The backseat. Yep. Because you get the claws.
Yep.
Yep. So you don't have to be a variant human.
You just have to be a Tabaxi.
And with that one, you only need 1 level in rogue.
No, because you need thief.
Yeah, so
You need 3.
2 in monk, 3 in rogue.
Yep. Because double bonus action.
Yep.
Which monks, key points, bonus action, fury of blows. Times 2.
Double flurry of blows with claws.
You just make an unarmed monk, unarmed rogue. Sticky fingers. Sticky.
Yep.
I have a new character concept.
No.
What do you mean no?
I said what I said.
What do you mean?
Oh, you know exactly what I mean, Havoc.
Khajiit has wares that he just pilfered off of other people.
Just don't show this episode to Sakari. At least not the last 10 minutes.
Fair. No, it doesn't really fit. He just runs away from everything.
Well, so far, but from what Sakari's been telling us, Han has multiple personalities. We've just gotten all of the yellow ones.
All right.
I think that ought to do it for us tonight, though.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
I'll have to come up with something next time, something different, a little bit more.
Oh, I've got ideas for what we're gonna do next night. You're gonna torture me with making a power build.
Oh,
I'm gonna get you back. Don't you worry.
okay, I guess. I don't like that smile. I don't at all. It scares.
That's the DM smile. You give me that smile all the time.
I'm innocent.
Yep, me too.
So, thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate it. If you have anything for us, our email is down below. You can see it down there at hatpodcast@gmail. If you want to hit us with character designs that you think are honorable mentions, fun story points that you were hit on in your sessions, or anything D&D related, just email it to us. We'll try to sift through it, and we'll go through, and who knows, maybe we'll bring it up and we're like, this is an excellent point, or maybe we're like, what's going on with this?
Yep.
But
we'd be happy to look at any fun stories. We'd be happy to take a look at rulings that you have made as a DM or that your DM has made and see how we feel about it. If you've got an idea for the weekly thing of the week that you think could be fun for us to take a look at,
that being said, if you want to catch more of us when we're not doing D&D related content, I know that Fish streams and that I stream and that almost all of our table members at our normal session stream. If you go down into the panels below, you'll see our players and everyone. Everything's hyperlinked, so you should be able to just click them. Come on, come on over. We don't really particularly bite all that much. I wouldn't say anything. I don't know how Moodles is sometimes, but maybe she does eat glitter. Apparently, as per her Discord notification. But I got good glittery syrup for Christmas.
Noodles did get glittery syrup for Christmas.
Oh man.
If there's any left, I'll bring it to the next podcast.
Oh god. Okay. Come on, drop by. We would be more than willing to hang out. If you would play any games that we play, we do sometimes do community nights. Haven't done one in a while. We should do one soon.
Yeah, that could be fun.
I know we were trying to do one with Knockdown Protocol or Lockout Protocol. God, Knockdown? I can't. Okay, Lockdown Protocol, but my computer is borked.
Well, kind of. You can't do audio because of your setup, and it's
frustrating.
Yeah.
It's more. It makes my life easy when it works, but when it doesn't work, it makes my life chaos.
Always. That's what's fun with it. Now, I know I plan on streaming again in the next day or two. I'll have to see how I feel. I might consider doing it tonight since there's no work in the morning.
I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to play Path. I have been losing my mind to Path of Exile. I am trying my hard. Yeah.
Impromptu Path stream.
I'm down.
From zero.
You make me restart again.
Yes, because we have to restart because I started after you and my characters are level 14 and 13.
Okay. What we can do is I have a character that is at level 13 or 14 or somewhere around that, and I could play on that one.
You know what? I would love to play that character with you with my mercenary.
Okay. We can do that.
Is Dash going to join us?
I reached Cruel. I mean, you son of a...
Havoc.
I didn't say it. I stopped myself.
We need a swear
jar. Let the record show. No, we do not need a swear jar. Please no. Please no. Please no.
Hey, Sultry, if you're here, we need a swear jar emote.
No. We're being PG-13. I'm doomed. Yes. No, we're not. At least podcast-wise. Podcast-wise.
Podcast is PG-13.
At least podcast.
Or at least we try.
I would try. I don't do the great. Hey, no. PG-13 is allowed to have one swear word. That is the rule.
It's allowed to have swears. It's allowed to have one F-bomb.
Ah, that's right. But yeah. I cannot do a D&D session without swearing. I'm sorry. That's not going to happen.
No, we need the swear jar for the podcast.
I'm okay with that
one. But now that we've gone fully unhinged, I'll say it again. Thank you, everyone, for stopping by, for watching us. If you're catching us on YouTube after this, feel free to, drop a comment or stop by the Twitch at some point. We're on either on our personal channels or on this one most nights of the week. So we'd love to have you in.
I'll actually post the Discord link in YouTube. I haven't been doing that. I don't know why I didn't think about that one. But we do have a Discord for the community, D&D related. I know I have my personal Discord that I run for my community. Vish has his. But for D&D related stuff, we do have a Hellions at the Table Discord. If you guys are interested and you'll be able to catch updates on that or, hang out with us, by all means, we love to have new people.
New people are always fun.
Fresh meat.
But I will let you guys know, Havoc and Dash, here in a few minutes if I'm actually up for it or if I'm just energized because we've been streaming.
Yeah.
But
we'll make a streamer out of you yet. Same goes for you, Dash.
Yep, Dash, you should join us. You should stream it. We'll do it. I promise. We'll see you on tonight, but we'll do it.
All right.
Until next time, guys. It's been great. It's been fun. We'll see you later.
Later, nerds.